Hey, what is up, warriors? It's the QuadFather here, and I'm here tonight to bring you another one of my goal series. And actually it was inspired by the movies. You know, sometimes movies are for pure entertainment, and sometimes they're used to inspire. Sometimes you watch a movie and you're engaged in it, and you want the characters to win, and you want them to get what's coming to them, whether it's good or bad. And that actually motivates you and changes how your whole life is. I mean, I can't. I mean, did you guys ever see Rocky? I mean, Rocky to me was one of the most inspirational movies. You got the guy who's fighting up from nowhere, and he tries hard, and he works hard, and he just does the best he can, and eventually he gets a shot at the title. I mean, I can't tell you, I walked out of that movie just singing and dancing. It's like, oh yeah, I can do anything. I'm gonna go drink raw eggs, and I'm gonna run up the stairs. And okay, well, I saw a movie that wasn't quite as inspirational, but it did cause me to think about what life was like when I was 16 years old. This story is called Divergent. Okay, and if any of you know the story, obviously I'm not going to explain anything that you don't know, but maybe I'm going to explain a layer of it that has to do with what you're going through and what actually I went through probably, almost until I was 30 years old. Okay, the movie's called Divergent, and the story is that there's a 16-year-old girl, her name is Tiss, and every 16-year-old in this society, because of the way it, I don't need to tell you the whole story, you can watch the movie if you want to know the whole thing, but at 16 years old, they take a test, okay, that tells them what type of personality they are. Okay, and there's 5 choices, and I'll explain those in a second. And from that choice that they make at 16 years old, they enter a faction. Okay, so there's 5 different factions that they can join. Okay, there's Abnegation, okay, who are known as the selfless. There's Dauntless, who are the brave people, right? They protect the society. There's the erudite, who are the intelligent. Duh, erudite, I can't even say it. Obviously, I'm not one of those. Okay, and then there's Candor, right? Candor, which is honesty. Okay, and there's Amity, who's the peaceful. Okay, so, and then there are the homeless, basically, the outcasts who don't fit into any of those groups. Okay, so you don't want to be one of those. You want to be one of those 5. Abnegation, domination, blitz, hard point, headquarters. No, none of those. Okay, so there's Dauntless, erudite, candor, and amity, right? So basically you have to choose which one of these personality types that you're gonna be, and you're gonna act like that person the whole time. You know, and of course our hero is Divergent, which Divergent means that she has excelled or done very well in several different areas, but that's not okay with society. Okay, so that really resonated and hit home with me, because I think society's always tried to push us, and even in high school and even to a lesser extent college, that you gotta be, are you the smart person? Are you the wild person? Are you the daring person? Are you the brave person? Are you the person who speaks the truth? And I think this story really unfolded, developed into a thought that, of course, nobody is just brave. Nobody is just candid. Nobody is just generous and thoughtful of other people. Nobody is just brave, right? We all want to be all of these things. But I think in high school and college, people want to categorize you and say, oh, well, he's a jock. He's smart. He's kind. He's this. I mean, we want to put people in categories because it makes this thing simple. But unfortunately, none of us want to be exclusively in any of those categories. We all want to be divergent. We all want to excel in a variety of areas. And I think that what happens is people buy into the idea that this is what I am. Well, I'm just that person. I'm just the party animal. I'm just the person who says what nobody else will say. I'm just the person who's kind to others. And come on, man. It wasn't until I was like 40 years old that I just said, you know what? Like Popeye says, I am what I am, and that's all what I am. And really, that is the place that we all want to be, right? We all say that we don't care what other people think, but truth be told, we all care what other people think. I don't care what anybody says. That's kind of ironic, but I don't care what anybody says. I care what other people think. Now, I'm not going to change drastic parts of my life because one person doesn't approve of it, or one person says, oh, well, you're not smart, or you're not brave, or you're not physical, or you're not kind to others. I'm not going to change all that. But I ultimately, in the end, I actually do care what other people think. So it has some influence. We all want to pretend it doesn't. But it wasn't until I was like 40 years old that I decided, you know what? I kind of am what I am. And the sooner you can get to that place, the sooner you can be comfortable with who you are, that you're not just brave, you're not just smart, you're not just kind, you're not just peaceful, you're not just honest. As soon as you can get to the place where you feel like this is what I am, and I'm some of all of it, and I'm none of some of it, then I think you will live a happier, more peaceful life, intellectually peaceful. So when I saw the movie Divergent, I said, you know what? This is a commentary on our social culture, on the way that teens think of themselves, young adults, and there's a lot to be learned. And the main lesson I learned is embrace all parts of you. Understand that some are stronger than others. Understand that you should follow your strengths. Don't try to squeeze into whatever group you are part of. Appreciate that they're different. Appreciate that they have strengths in areas that you don't, and you can learn from them. Don't try to mold yourself into being one thing that somebody sees you as. Be all of who you are. Be smart, be honest, be brave, be bright when it's time to be bright, be selfless when it's time to be selfless. Don't let someone call you weak or a wimp because you help somebody else out. Follow your heart, man. Do what you do, be who you are, and it's okay. It's okay to be all of those things. It's okay to be none of those things. So, as far as I say, from the QuadFather, from the heart, from my ticker, from my YouTubeable shirt, I say, be all of it, be some of it, but most of all, just be you, and don't let anyone else shape who you are. QuadFather, OUT.